You are listening to Beyond the Wheel, a podcast about the people and ideas that drive the RV community forward.
Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com. Hi all, and welcome back to Beyond the Wheel podcast. Today we are sharing day 2 of the FMCA Convention, which was recorded live in Tucson, Arizona. Our first guest is Michael Vargas from ShadePro, which we learned does more than just your standard awnings. They are able to add awnings over almost any window of your RV, not just a large awning on the passenger side of your vehicle. But they also have interior shade solutions for you, as well as custom make their awnings to make it look like it came right from the factory. We are then joined by Scott Green from Michelin Tires. Scott is going to share the importance of customer feedback and how it plays a role in improving Michelin tires, as well as the materials and components that make up their high-quality tires, which are designed for safety, performance, and longevity. So without any further delay, let's get this episode started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to day 2 out here at the FMCA Convention in Tucson, Arizona, where we are enjoying another great day of weather. Today we are joined by Michael from ShadePro. And Michael, if you could just kind of introduce yourself and what your role is at ShadePro.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. My name is Michael Vargas. I actually do most of the marketing. I'm the marketing director at ShadePro. But I also, being still a small business, we handle and wear a lot of hats. So I attend a lot of the shows, pack and build. When we need installations, I can also go out and lend a hand to our installers that are out here. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'll handle there at ShadePro.
And right before we started interviewing you, we asked how long you've been there. You've been here with the company for over 10 years.
Yeah, I'm going on 11 years here in May. I'll be with the company for 11 years. Yeah, so I kind of started from the bottom just as your standard order entry, customer service, answering the phones. And then as I got older, got back into going to school, went to school for marketing and business, and then kind of just grew with the company, and now I'm in the marketing position.
I think that's a great sign of the company itself, because especially nowadays, people don't stay at companies very long. So the fact that you're thriving at this company and that you're staying with them, I think, is a good reflection of the company itself.
Absolutely. I think there's probably almost a dozen people with our company that have been over for 20 years.
Wow.
So yeah, we pride ourselves on really being kind of still that small business that can still show faces at these large events.
And how would you best describe what ShadePro does for the RVer?
So we have a couple different things that we cover. For the basic shows, we actually cover installations as well as just shipping the product to customers. So we have our retail store where if you're out of our service area, which is just Southern California, Southwest Arizona, we can always ship the products to you as well. But the benefit of us here at the shows is we're able to get the products in next day, custom built for your rig, and install it for you.
So these are, I've seen you guys at every FMCA rally I've ever been to, as well as some other events. You guys, it's not only a professionally installed product that you build, you could do it DIY as well?
Yeah, absolutely. There are certain products, of course, I would recommend, maybe when you're getting to some electrical and certain really custom products. But no, there are definitely a majority of people that if you're handy enough, you can do it yourself. The benefit is just, if we're here, why not have us do it for you?
Yeah.
That's all we do. So I think that's a big aspect of our business too. We're not going out and doing, repairs to your tire. All we do is shade solutions. So we specialize in awnings and keeping your RV cool.
Okay. I'm glad that you mentioned the awning, because I was just recently on a Mexico trip with Fantasy RV Tours. And while down there, somebody had a ShadePro awning, but it was on their driver's side over their dinette windows. And when I looked at it, it looked like it was factory. It didn't look aftermarket. And he said that he did have you guys actually install it at a FMCA event. Is that one of your more popular attachments? Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, I would say window awnings especially are one of the more popular items for us to install because we can get them so custom down to it looks like it came off the factory and really match any color scheme that you have. And then the benefit of all the window awnings too is when you're out at places like this, they can sustain wind. Those are things you can leave out when you take off from your RV. The main patio awnings, you're always afraid if it gets windy, those things have to be in.
Yeah.
So the benefit is you get privacy, added shade, cool your RV. So it's definitely something that's very popular.
Yeah, I was thinking of the cooling factor alone, just because typically RVs do not come with an awning on that passenger side, and the fact that he was able to add this little awning and it was perfectly covering his dinette window, I thought that was super cool.
So you can build them for, you said custom, so for any size window, really?
Yes. Yeah, we can build them pretty much for any size window, and you'll have the occasional RV that has, 2 windows side by side. We can do even a large one up to 13 foot long. So we can always do one big one, a couple small ones, whatever's best for your RV, really.
Okay. And how long does it take, like out here at a show, if you're putting in, I guess it depends on how many, but on your average RV, I guess, how long does it take for you guys to install?
Yeah, so it really depends, like you said, on the amount that you're going to put in. But the turnaround here for us at the shows is really a day. So at this show in particular, we have 6 trucks driving around. They'll go out, give an estimate, say before 1 or 2 o'clock. We can typically install the next day. Worst case, it's 2 days later, just based on being busy. But our turnaround is really quick. We build everything in San Diego and fly it out to our installers overnight.
Really?
So it's brand new custom-made product.
Oh, so I thought you just had, I don't know why, but I thought maybe you just already had material here. So you are custom cutting, custom everything.
Yes.
Shipping it out and then installing.
Correct.
Wow.
Yep.
And what about, I'm sorry we're jumping around here,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking of,
Sure.
What about the length of the awning? Can that be custom as well?
No, so those kind of have set sizes. It's
Okay.
really based on the height of your window. So there's 2 different types. One that's made to cover, something shorter than 33 inches tall. And then there's one that's anything taller than that. Okay. So then those arms get longer and able to drop down further for a little more privacy.
Okay.
All right. And then you also make awnings that will go over your entry door.
Correct.
Which I thought was really
Yes.
great for rainy days if you got a pet and that you got to take them out when it's raining and maybe your awning doesn't cover. You're able to add an extra awning to the entry.
Absolutely. So there's actually a couple different types. They make them in electric and manual, and it's called an over-the-door awning.
Okay.
And it's specifically just designed for that. It's for, sometimes you're sitting in the dinette or you're sitting on the couch and the sun's coming right through that window, and you need a little bit of shade, a little bit of privacy. Like you said, in the rain, you don't want to walk right out with your dog or something and trek through the rain all the time. So it's definitely nice to have.
Yeah, I thought that was great. And then material-wise, what is the awning material made out of? And as far as care for the consumer, what should they be doing to keep it clean and looking new?
We have a couple different types of material to use. You have your standard entry model, which is like a vinyl, more of like your plastic type material. And then we also have what's called acrylic, which is like an actual true outdoor fabric. So that's like your sunbrella canvas that you're seeing on umbrellas, on the patios of a restaurant, things like that, your boat covers. And those are something that's going to last probably twice as long as your standard vinyl, just because they're actually, water resistant. When they get wet, they dry out. You're not going to have them be wet, have to unroll them and have the mildew stench, things like that. But as far as care goes, it's pretty simple. It's just basic soap and water. You don't want to put any harsh chemicals on any of these awnings.
Okay.
But we also do make something for window awnings especially, which is called a full view material. So it's actually a mesh. So it's made for people to see out and no one to see in.
Oh, nice.
So that way, if you're out somewhere, you can still pull your window awning down, but you're not going to lose your view of the lake or the mountains or whatever forest campground you're in. You're still able to see out and get all that privacy and shade.
Okay. And can you, around here, of course, there's a lot of motorhomes, but
Yes.
Can you install on any type of RV?
Yeah, we can install on, pretty much any flat-sided surface.
Okay.
So the only things that really require true custom type things are going to be your buses that have the rounded sides.
Yeah.
Those are things that are kind of really tricky that really have to come from the factory. But yeah, travel trailers, fifth wheels, small toy haulers, anything, you can put any of these guys on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as far as inside shades, do you guys do anything on interiors of RVs?
We do. So we actually make custom day and night roller shades. So they're made exactly to your RV as well. We would go in, measure the valance boxes that are around your window, and custom build the product to fit inside that valance.
Okay.
And then that way you would get 2 roller systems, one which is that mesh that I just referred to. So during the day, you bring it down, still have all your view, no one can see in. At night, you then just pull the blackout shade, and it's going to be completely private.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. Yeah, I like those.
And same for the driving visors. We do it on the front of the cockpit of a Class A as well.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
So you do a shade for that front windshield, the big front windshield?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we install those products out here in just a day as well.
Oh, nice. You
And
guys
then,
are busy.
As far as DIY stuff, if somebody isn't out this way,
Yes.
and let's say, like I live in Virginia, and I wanted to order some for my fifth wheel,
Yes.
what would I need to do? What would I need to have with me when I called or went on the website?
I mean, on the website, we do have decent videos and instructions of how to measure.
Okay.
But for shades like that, we really just need to know the inside measurement of your valance.
Okay.
So we can kind of talk you through, go over exactly what dimensions you would need to ensure that it would fit first. And then we custom build it off those measurements.
Okay. And then what about the outdoor?
The outdoor ones, those can be a little tricky because some can be measured based on the fabric. But the bigger awnings and arms that have arms to come down, you always want to measure arm to arm on the structure of the awning.
Oh, okay.
So never the fabric on those guys. So it can be kind of tricky.
Okay. But people can hear at the FMCA show right now, they can come into your booth, chat with you guys, and if they talk to you today, possibly have an awning on their RV by tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like that's the way to go.
Yeah.
And I know we're here at the FMCA show, but you do travel the country. You go to all the FMCA shows.
Yes.
So they don't necessarily have to come to you in Southern California.
Correct.
In a sense, you're kind of traveling the country, and most likely, eventually, you'll be near somebody that is looking for
so
it.
we go to a majority of the FMCA shows. So we'll go to all the internationals and then some of the small regional shows as well. We'll attend the Escapade show for the Escape B members. And this year, for 3 weeks at the end of July, we'll be going to a Newmar exclusive rally, a Tiffin exclusive rally, and then the FMCA right after. So we'll be in Colorado and Oregon and passing through other states. And we kind of have a chart on our website too that you can follow to go around and here's where we're going to be for this entire year.
Okay.
So we do all the large shows.
So people don't necessarily need to rely on their own DIY skills.
Yes.
Give it some time,
Exactly.
and you'll be near
close.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I would prefer, just so I didn't mess up the measurements.
Yeah.
At least have
Yeah.
you guys measure it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know for myself, just thinking about I'm guessing you have to drill, for the one that I saw that was over their dinette, you have to drill into the side of their RV to get that
Yes.
attached. That's where my measurements, okay. I'd be afraid of just putting the hole in the wrong place.
Yeah, exactly. Sealing all the holes as well. Yep. Yep.
So I think it's worth it to have you guys
Absolutely.
do the install.
Absolutely.
Do you do the over the slide
Yes.
awnings too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you do?
Yeah.
So somebody could really outfit their whole RV while at a show.
Absolutely. Yeah, any kind of shade solution on the exterior, we cover, from just windshield covers on the front end to this over the doors, the slide outs, window awnings, main patio awnings. We work them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about truck campers and Class B vans, like some of the smaller vehicles?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
So, you have products then for everybody, it sounds like.
We do.
Okay. What about warranties for outside shades and warranties for inside shades?
So there are a couple different warranties with the types of product. Most of the hardware only comes with a 1-year warranty, but fabrics will come from a 3 to a 5.
Oh, nice.
So the materials themselves will be covered, but the mechanical portions will have like a standard 1-year warranty, as well as our labor.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, the labor's
The
warranted.
labor
as well.
is warranted as well.
Okay. And for the stuff that has electrical components,
Yes.
if it's brand new, like you've never had an awning there before, can you guys will still tie in the electric
Yes.
part as well?
Yeah, because all the awnings that we're going to be using are going to be 12 volt.
Okay.
So that's the benefit of most everything inside the RV. You can find a 12 volt power source.
Yeah.
And even on some of the older trailers or motorhomes that have manual awnings, we have the ability to just change the arms and not necessarily make you get a whole brand new awning. So
okay.
if your fabric's in good shape, the roller's in good shape, we can just take the manual parts off, put an electric on, and wire it in. and then
that's
you
cool.
just have what we call a 12-volt upgrade.
Yeah.
So we can get something like that done for $949.
Wow.
Installed compared to a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
Nice.
And what about sorry, Kenny. What about, is there an age of an RV that you guys won't install on?
No, not at all.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I mean, the only problem, I guess I should say, as long as it's structurally sound.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some places you'll get into and you get up top and you're like, well, all the wood rot right here has to be repaired before I put something too heavy up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's really no limit. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you were talking about, making it power and running it off 12 volt.
Yes.
Is there a switch that you guys add on the inside, or is it a fob?
No, so there's really, we only wire it in. So it's a hardwired open and close switch.
Okay.
They do make certain what's called a direct response, which is actually like a vibration sensor that your arm, if it shakes too bad, it can go in, or they have keys that then program to that as well,
Oh,
where you're
okay.
just using a remote control.
Okay.
But you do put the switch in.
Yes,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
will be wired in. Yeah,
Okay.
inside.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. So some of them do have wind sensor?
Yes, they do.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
That's a nice feature.
It used to be an actual wind sensor, like an anemometer on the top that would have the true whirlybird. Then they changed it to a vibration sensor. And since then, you've kind of found that most of the times, by the time it knows that it's shaking too bad, it's probably too late for it to roll in for 45 seconds.
Yeah, mine has a
gotcha.
vibration sensor and never works.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so we recommend anytime you leave or you know it's windy,
Put it in.
spend the 30 seconds and just
Yeah.
hold that button down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all of our questions.
Yeah.
You're quick with the answers. Is there anything we might have missed though, or maybe something that you want to add that you think that we should have highlighted that we missed?
No, I think one big thing for ShadePro is that we pride ourselves on the knowledge of awnings. We have a great customer service team that's been there for years and years. Our customer service manager, Justin's been there for 20 years. So we're really knowledgeable and back our products. So if you have any questions, we'll answer any questions. You don't feel pressured into buying from us. We're there to help. We want people to be knowledgeable on our products and themselves as well, because it's going to save them in the long run.
Yeah, for some things, it's good to go to like the Walmarts or the box
Yeah.
stores. But for other things, you want somebody that's a specialist in what they do. And,
Exactly.
And I think when you're having an awning put on your RV anywhere that you want to last for a long time, it's better to go to the people that are specialists in that.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we pride ourselves on knowledge and expertise and care. So
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, thanks so much. And if people are at the show, they can come see you at the booth.
yes.
If
Yep.
people are not at the show, what's the best way for them to explore your products?
You can always go to our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and we also just have our standard website. Just go to shadepro.net. And you'll see all of the products that we offer right there.
Okay, and then if people have questions, there's a 800 number or something that
Yes,
they
so
call?
we have our 800 number. It's 1-800-328-5100. And our customer service is open Monday through Saturday.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
The hall's pretty busy, so
Get
I know you
back
guys
in
are
there.
getting some customers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you guys.
We want to thank Echo One Adventures for sponsoring our trip to the FMCA convention. Echo One Adventures is a company that does electrical installs in all types of RVs and rents travel trailers fully outfitted for off-grid living. To learn more about them, go to echo1adventures.com. Thanks again to Echo One Adventures for their support.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to day 2, episode 2, out here live at the FMCA Convention in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Right now, we're joined by Scott Green from Michelin. And Scott, if you could just kind of introduce yourself and let us know what your role at Michelin is.
Sure, Kenny. I'm Scott Green. I've worked at Michelin for almost 27 years now, and I've been working in the field with our customers for the past 17 years doing customer engineering support. We have a team of roughly 25 field engineers who work directly with our customers, including truck fleets, tire dealers, the recreational vehicle community, and any tire users we can find to help folks get the most from their tires. By doing this, we learn about the performance of our tires in the real world and work directly with our tire designers and product marketing to continuously improve the Michelin tire products. In my current role, I support the North American Customer Engineering Support Team as the technical referent. But previously, I spent some time in our tire manufacturing plants and in our research center as well.
Okay. It's a long career.
I've,
It's impressive.
I'm by far not the longest in our team. There's many people that stick around Michelin for a long time. It's a great company to work for.
Okay. And Michelin is definitely a popular choice for RVers. In fact, I purchased my second set of Michelin tires for my Class A motorhome. I do a lot of miles. I'm up to about 133,000 miles on my Class A. And I had, when it came time to replace my tires, I definitely wanted to go with Michelin again. How is the RV tire different than, say, a truck tire? Because my wheel size is a similar size to a truck.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, first, thanks for your business. We appreciate all of our customers, and we really enjoy the chance here at the show to talk to everybody and hear folks' feedback about their tire experiences, and we always learn from that. So thank you for that. But now to your question. There's many different classes and types of RVs, of course, that have different tire needs, including different tire sizes and capacities. But these needs are often similar to the needs of long-haul trucking and commercial highway coaches. So as you probably know, many of the chassis manufacturers for the various coaches here at the show are the same manufacturers producing commercial trucks and coaches.
Yeah.
So in many cases, the tires are the same. There was a time when we manufactured more tires that were really marketed specifically to the RV industry, and we had a tire called the XRV, and we still make a few tires in that size. But really, there's not much difference other than we usually had a little less tread depth on the RV tire.
Okay.
So really not much difference. So really, we don't do much of that anymore. Most of the tires you buy are really commercial truck tires, but to help you know which ones are suitable for an RV, in all our printed literature and our website, or if you go to the Michelin RV website, you'll find that they're marked in a way that shows that they're compatible with coaches and recreation vehicles.
Okay.
So we try to manage it that way. We show you which ones should be used, but in most cases, they are commercial truck tires, really.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But if you have questions about that, you can check with your dealer. Come by and see us here at the show. We're always like to talk to you, or call Michelin Consumer Care. They can help you with that as well.
Okay.
Does Michelin make tires for all classes of RVs, or is it mostly just the Class A's that they make tires for?
Well, we generally have excellent tire fitments for most vehicles on the road today. We make tires for most all cars, pickups, SUVs. We also make tires for motorcycles and bicycles and UTVs, and we even make aircraft tires. So we have a strong presence in commercial trucking, and I would say, and the recreational vehicle and coach business. So I would say we have a good tire offer for most all the RVs on the road, and especially those who are at the show today. But there may be a few exceptions. In general, like for the folks with the pull-behind trailers, we do have strong product offers for the pickup and the SUVs, large SUVs that are towing them, but we don't make an ST tire for the trailers. So in a lot of cases, then that would be an exception where we don't have much offered there.
Okay, so like I tow a fifth wheel, so that might be a challenge.
Yeah, there's some where we would have a steel casing tire that would be quite a good fitment, but for many of them, we don't have the sizes that they would need. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have excellent ones for that pickup truck
yes.
that you tow it with.
I have Michelin's on my truck right now.
We're really strong in that market.
Oh, good. Yeah, I really like the Michelin brand.
Yeah.
For other people listening that, Sean's Michelin, I got Michelin's on my tire or on my RV, what makes a Michelin tire stand out from other manufacturers?
I would say it's our commitment to quality. From the first demountable bicycle tire produced over 130 years ago, the Michelin family name has always stood for quality. And that tradition really permeates every aspect of Michelin. And when you work at Michelin, that is what you hear every day, all the time. It's always about quality. So we continue to innovate in the world of mobility. We invest heavily in research and development to continuously improve the performance of our tires and to develop new technologies for the future. We realize our competitors continue to get better, and we have to keep investing and keep developing in order to stay ahead. So there's many performances to be considered in tires. Of course, there's the basic parameters like safety, and which includes casing integrity and endurance, which are always on the forefront of our thought when it comes to tires. But then we think about performances like wet and dry braking, think stopping distance. That's a safety aspect as well. And that's a very important performance that we work to optimize. We also think about the handling and the performance during evasive maneuvers while you're on the highway. And beyond that, of course, we focus on longevity and helping to achieve a good value for the investment you make in our tires. Then we try to achieve these performances while working on rolling resistance, to help with fuel economy for our tires, because we want to continue to be the environmental leader in helping to reduce fuel use and greenhouse gas emissions. I think that what Michelin does the best, though, is to create the right balance among all those performances, because sometimes those performances are conflicting. They're competing in what we can achieve. But I think we do a really good job of balancing that to bring the best tire to the market.
Have you seen more interest in the rolling resistance in recent years? Are more people fuel economy conscious with EVs and hybrids and things like that coming out?
I think that varies by segment, and it goes up and down over time.
Okay.
So when diesel prices went really high a few years back, there was a lot of interest. Prices have been relatively lower. There's been a little less. Mm-hmm. But of late, we've seen more interest in global climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. So there's a lot of interest in that. And for sure, on the EV side, a lot of interest in rolling resistance, which directly equates to range.
Yeah.
So not so much in the RV market today, but in EV cars, and now EV commercial trucks are really coming on board, and there's a lot of focus on rolling resistance there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So other than rubber, which I read a book actually about Thomas Edison, and he was trying to grow rubber in the U.S. for tires, to make tires. But nowadays, I'm sure it's way different. But other than rubber, what other materials are used in the construction of a Michelin tire?
Okay. Well, unfortunately, he didn't do too well at growing rubber in the U.S., so we don't really have that. Basically, we have rubber, steel, and textile products in tires, as well as a lot of research, testing, and engineering. Those are the main ingredients. But to dive into rubber a little more, rubber's a lot more than one thing. We have natural rubber as well as a lot of synthetic rubbers, and especially in the commercial truck tire and RV world, there is some natural rubber still, and that comes from rubber that's all grown, overseas. There is none around here. And it does still come from trees, not that much different technologically than a long time ago. So that's still kind of old technology. But a lot of the rubber's synthetic rubber, too, to get the specific performances we need. And, those rubber elastomers are mixed with carbon black, silica, and other fillers and additives to support the processing of the rubber in our plants and to provide the unique properties required in each part of the tire. So the tire is composed of many different rubber mixes, which are all formulated, differently to perform well in the modern tire. Then in addition, in an RV and a truck tire, we have steel cables, which do the body ply for the strength and the steel belts around under the tread. But the body ply is the part of the tire that carries the load. And again, there'll be steel cables for truck tires, and in your passenger, light truck, SUV, those would be textile cords.
Okay.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you're saying that a tire is not the side wall of the tire may be a different rubber mixture than the base of the tire?
Yeah, definitely. I should know how many different rubber products there are. I don't, but it's a lot. I'm going to say, 15, 20, 25 different. It would vary by the tire, different rubber products. So there's, of course, the tread is one we normally think of as being one product, but there's an under tread product that runs underneath that. The cables themselves are engulfed in a rubber product because it's difficult to make steel stick to rubber. So we have a rubber product that helps make that transition. In the shoulder of the tire, there's products to help bring up the shoulder and keep it out. The inner liner of the tire is made of a butyl rubber, which essentially does the job formerly of an inner tube to keep the air in the tire. Around the bead of the tire, there's very hard rubber products to withstand the mounting and dismounting and the forces of abrasion on the wheel itself. And then internally, there's a number of different products to support the right stiffnesses and transition zones as the tire flexes. So there's a lot of different rubber products.
Who knew?
Going into it.
Yeah.
More than you would have thought, right?
That's right. Yeah.
It's not just a rubber donut.
That's right. We don't just pour rubber in a mold. The tires are built up in layers with different products and different shapes, and there's quite a lot to it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
Tires often are getting swapped out. The tires that they leave behind, is any of that being recycled today?
There is. There's a number of uses for end-of-life tires. It's being reused in a lot of industries outside of rubber and tire. It's used in landscaping for mulch, and it gets ground up and used on AstroTurf. It improves the qualities of that. But some of it does go back into tires. We're at Michelin, we're very strongly committed to a circular economy where everything is recycled and reused. And we're a leader in our commitment to the planet and a carbon neutral future. That said, recycled materials is a challenge in building tires because we will not compromise our safety of our tires. But there is some recycled materials going back today into rubber and steel products. But we're definitely looking to push that much further. That is a major area of research now for Michelin. We own several companies in the U.S. and Europe that focus on materials and the recycling process, both the process of recycling the tires and how those materials can be better reused in tires and perhaps other products. There may be a lot of use for that in other rubber products beyond tires. So a lot of our focus today is not only on the tires, but on everything around tires and beyond tires. So we think of ourselves as a mobility company, and we really want to push the limits of mobility and an inclusive mobility for all. And that includes, recycling and reuse of everything as much as we can.
Okay.
Let's get into a little bit of what, as a consumer, what I should know when I'm looking at my tires or replacing a tire. How do people know the tires they are using are load rated for the weight of their RV, and what numbers or letters should they be looking at in order to know that information?
Okay. Generally, the first place to start is there should be is from the coach or vehicle manufacturer, there should be a placard. There should be a sticker in an RV or a placard on the door frame of your car or pickup truck that would show that information. So generally in the industry today is pretty good, and that's usually going to have the correct size and load range for your vehicle. And so unless there's a good reason to change, we usually just stay with that. Now, that said, to be sure you're within that, we would like you to weigh your coach by wheel end and then verify that to make sure that your tires are adequate, because there are cases where you may need to change a tire size or load range to get up. But usually what the manufacturer puts on is going to be the right place to start.
And maybe you can help us out. So I hear debate online a lot and at shows and whenever we're conversing with people about the proper tire inflation, especially for RVs. So if you take it to a shop, a lot of times the shop is always trying to do a higher inflation, higher PSI, and they tell you, well, you're going to get better gas mileage with this. And then you'll talk to the consumers and other RVers, and they're saying, well, I go with a lower tire inflation because it's giving me a softer ride. And they're okay with losing the miles per gallon. Is there, should we be going by what's in the coach? Should we be going by what the installer is telling us? How do people know really what the proper tire inflation is?
Well, this is a very popular topic of discussion. So we spend a lot of time here at the show talking about that, and it's one of our favorite topics.
Okay, good.
Because we really view that pressure is the primary thing to get right for good tire life. So the thing we really emphasize is you got to weigh the coach by wheel end and get those weights.
Okay.
So in commercial trucking, we often weigh the whole axle because they tend to be very even from side to side. But RVs are often quite a bit heavier on one side than the other, just based on the design and layout of what the manufacturer put in the coach and what you may have stored in the coach. So it's very important to weigh it. Then you can use the manufacturer's load and pressure tables, and these tables are based on the Tire and Rim Association standard, and they're generally the same across various manufacturers because they're based on standards. Use the heaviest wheel end of each axle to determine the correct pressure for that axle, then looking it up in the table, and maintain that pressure. And what that gives you is the minimum pressure. So it's okay to go a little higher if you want, but not okay to go lower. So that's the minimum. It's unlikely you'll improve fuel economy by going higher, or any that you can measure. It'll go up a little bit, but it's very small. That curve flattens out. You will lose fuel economy if you go too low, but as well as perhaps not preserving the safety of the tire. But as long as you're at that or above, you're good. And generally staying close to that, the tire's optimized for that footprint. So the handling, the stopping distances, those will be best at close to that correct designed pressure. Some of that other advice you get, they're not wrong, because if you have not weighed your vehicle, then we would say you need to go by what the vehicle manufacturer recommends. And if you don't have that either, then it's maximum sidewall pressure. So those others are kind of the backup plan, but really plan A should be to weigh the vehicle, and then you really know what the right pressure is, and you can dial it in and get the best performance of your tires and the other things you want, like the comfort, good stopping distance, fuel economy. All those will all come together.
Okay, everything else will kind of fall in place.
Yeah.
So you said there's a chart. Is this a chart that Michelin provides also on the website?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. So in most of our websites, in our truck tire websites, it would be the weight by axle. But if you go to Michelin RV tires and click on the picture of the RV there, you will get charts that are specific to the tires that we typically use in our RVs, and it'll be by wheel end, and it'll be easy to use. If you'd like to, come by and talk to us, or our consumer care folks can help with that as well.
Okay, great.
So what else can people do besides, you said the inflation is the most important, what else can people do to get the most miles in life out of their tires?
Well, I always say the three most important things are pressure, and pressure. So if you get that right, you'll go a long way. And seriously, that's the answer. Okay. Your Michelin tires should last between 5 and 10 years. That's what we generally say. There's many practices that we talk about in our seminars about covering your tires and various things you can do to extend the life. That's always good storage condition. That's how you push toward closer to 10 years. We strongly recommend washing your tires only with soap and water. No dressings of any type on them, just soap and water. Okay. And that's generally the best to extend the life. But still, your tires will come to the end of life. And at 10 years from the manufacturing date, as shown by that code on the side, you need to get rid of your tires. They all come to end of life.
Okay.
No matter how well you take care of them, the inside of the tire still wears out. It's made of steel in there, and over time, moisture gets in there from the air and all, and starts to rust. So at 10 years is when it's time to go. If even if you don't do a lot of the stuff to really preserve the life, they're still probably going to last 5 years. So that's really the range we're working in. Okay. At 5 years, we recommend that you see a tire professional every year, have them inspected, and check them, but they may very well go to 10 years.
If people before that 5 year and they're inspecting it themselves, what are they looking for? Like, will we see hairline cracks or anything like that? Is that something that we need to be concerned about?
Yeah, let's talk about that. The first thing to verify is that you have the correct size and load rating for the vehicles we discussed earlier, and again that you weigh the vehicle to know what pressure to use. So as long as you're doing those things, that's kind of the basics. And then in general, just keep an eye on your tires. You're primarily looking for tread or sidewell damage, any damage that exposes the steel. Little chunks and damages are fine, but if you see steel exposed, then that's when you're going to need to address that. And yeah, you look for crazing, we would call it, as the sidewall starts to crack a little bit. But a little bit of cracking does not mean you immediately have to replace them. We generally say when it gets to about 2/32 deep, then you probably need to. I think that little early cracking is just to remind you that your tires aren't going to last forever, and you may want to think about where it is you're going to want to buy your next tires and what you want to get.
Okay. And then also, I guess when people are looking at their tires from, directly straight on, you want to make sure that your tire is wearing evenly across. If they're not, then that's usually a alignment or something going on with your chassis. It's not usually a tire issue.
That's right. The tires can be a great indicator of what's going on with your vehicle, so they do a good job of that. So yeah, uneven tire wear can indicate alignment issues. Good thing to get them aligned. When you buy new tires, it's that's a significant investment. So it's a good time to pay for an alignment and make sure when they do an alignment, of course, they're going to check all your components and make sure all those are tight and in good working order. So, that can be important as well. But as I said, at 10 years, the internal products are likely worn out, and then that's going to be time for replacement as well.
Okay.
So in the old days, we used to learn the penny trick for measuring tread depth. Now I think there's tread depth indicators built into a lot of tires, and you know that when it gets to that indicator level, it's time to change, or is that kind of the way it works?
Yeah, well that's old school, but the penny still works.
It still works?
The penny still works. So those tread wear indicators are at 2/32. So that's about the same as Lincoln's hair on the penny. So that's a good method. That is the legal limit. Most people replace a little bit sooner. A lot of times tires get replaced maybe before they need to from a tread depth standpoint. For most folks in the RV world, they don't get to that, but more likely in your car or tow vehicle. But yeah, if the full head, if his hair is all exposed, then it's time. That's the end. Usually on the front tires, on the steer tires, we'll usually say 4/32. So the indicator's still at 2. In the commercial truck world, that would be the law. And in the RV world, most folks would go by that as well.
Well, Scott, I think that's all of our questions. We really appreciate your time. I know that you're busy here at the FMCA show, so like I said, we really appreciate you sitting down and answering all of our questions. But if there's something that we might have missed or that you want to highlight that you think that we should have touched on, we got time.
Sure. I'd just like to say that Michelin is a very special company, and it's probably why many of our employees stay there for so long. And we take a very long view of the business, looking to 2050 and beyond. We have plans for those years, and we're committed to people, profit, and planet. And it's a commitment that we take very seriously. We truly believe we make the safest and best tires for your RV, cars, and trucks, and we plan to stay that way in a leadership position by continuing to innovate and invest in research and development. So please come by and see us. We love to hear from you and talk about tires. We'll talk about tires probably longer than you want to listen to us. So we do that. So thanks, Kenny and Sean. Appreciate you having me here. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you very much. We want to thank Michael from ShadePro and Scott from Michelin for taking the time to talk to us at the busy FMCA convention. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with ShadePro, where we explored the benefits and craftsmanship of custom RV shades, and with Michelin, who shared invaluable tips on tire care, safety, and choosing the right tires for your RV. Remember, whether you're looking to improve your comfort or ensure your safety on the road, the right products and knowledge can make all the difference. Stay tuned for more episodes from the FMCA convention and other guests in our upcoming episodes. We also want to thank Battleborn Batteries and Echo One Adventures for making our trip to the FMCA event possible. We really appreciate their support. Please take time to check them out. Until next time, safe travels, everybody.
Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com.